Someone told me recently that I have to improve on my email etiquette. I was actually pretty shocked. What do you think I can do to work on that?
Well, it's funny, Jake, because a lot of times we write emails the way we talk, and those of us that are very informal, the emails come across not very professional. So there's just a few things you need to do to really come across with a professional email. The first thing is don't use shortcuts and abbreviations. I mean, have full sentences and make sure you're really spelling out the key points that you want to make. I think it's really easy to almost do it like in text form, where everything is an oh my god, as opposed to really sort of spelling things out and having it be very clear what you're trying to say. The clearness is super important. Be to the point. Don't ramble. Just make sure that you think about in advance a couple of points that you want to get across in the email, and make sure that those are the things that you get across in the email. Make sure that you always reread the email before you hit send, just from the standpoint that grammar really sticks out a lot. You may read through it pretty quickly, but if someone else is reading it for the first time and it's maybe their first business email from you, any kind of punctuation mistake or misspelling of a word, it stands out really, really clearly, and I think that's not ideal in terms of coming across professionally. Never ever send an email when you're angry. Don't respond to somebody with some kind of a negative response to something, a flippant response. If you feel like you want to write something negative, go ahead and write it, just don't send it. I think a lot of times that people are much more emotional with emails, or maybe even misread how somebody's written it and want to come back with a response that is negative. And a lot of times what I find are people are very brave in email. If they were sitting across from me in the desk, they would never say some of the things that they say on email. And so don't be that person. I mean, be really measured in your responses. And probably the final thing about business emails, if you think about this, you won't be able to go wrong, which is know that any email that you write could very easily be forwarded to your boss or your boss's boss. So when you reread it for grammar, also reread it for tone and content, because what you don't want to have out there in the business world is some email that has been forwarded with some comment that you wouldn't want everybody to know. So I think if you think about those few things as you put together your business email, you'll come across with something that's succinct, that's got good grammar, and that will show that you're the business professional that you are.